about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo will win the Italian Grand Prix!
Gonzalo running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, wonderful viewers out there. You're welcome to Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu's man is right here with me. Salifu, you are highly welcome to Sports Orbit.
Yeah, thank you, Afa. It's always a pleasure to be on the Sports Orbit.
Yeah, on today's episode of Sports Orbit, we have news coming in as it concerns the qualifiers for the Cote D'Ivoire 2023 Nations Cup. Also, the WAFU B U-20 tournament currently going on in Niger Republic. The Flying Eagles will be in action tonight again. And of course, we have some news coming in from the English Premier League. We'll also give you what the table in the EPL looks like after that shocker we saw yesterday in the EPL. So we'll give you all of that and much more in today's episode of Sports Orbit. First, we'll begin from the AFCON 2023 qualifiers, where as a result of Sao Tome fielding an ineligible player in their match against one of their qualifiers for the AFCON 2023, CAF has actually now disqualified them completely, and in their place, Mauritius will now take their place. So instead of Sao Tome and Principe, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be taking on Mauritius. Salifu, the CAF hammer has fallen hard on Sao Tome and Principe, fielding a player who was completely ineligible. And of course, Mauritius made the case. Initially, CAF were foot dragging, but CAF, I think their case was strong enough, and CAF saw that actually this actually went against the rules of CAF and had to pull them out in their place, and Mauritius are taking their place.
Yeah, that is a good one, and congratulations for Mauritius. And I think it will also serve as a deterrent for other African, other nations and other teams. It is not proper if you know that the player is not qualified to play for you. There's no need to try to cut corner. The football is another name of football is fair play, and try to be fair play anytime we are trying to play. But is that why bring somebody you know that he is not eligible to play for you? Yeah. Now I think they will let their legs, and at the same time, other nations also learn from this their experience. And I also commend the CAF to get the decision quick. Yeah. I think Nigerian, the Super Eagles, and other teams as well, and the Liberia who are in that group now know clearly who is their fourth opponents in the group, and it is left for us now and to know and to prepare properly for the AFCON qualifier. Thank God the Super Eagles in the Nigerian Football Federations have named a starting push for the Super Eagles. So the owners now light on. We're now waiting to see what Jose Pesero, as they call him, the Portuguese tacticians, what is now going to bring on the table. And thank God for the Nigerian Football Federation, the insistence of the Minister of Youth and Sport to ensure that let the right thing be done. Some people are foot dragging that the minister was insisting in the first place that let the legal rest be done. And I still believe that even though the right thing was not seen to be done in the eyes of many Nigerians, but the fact that the person was not given a full-time contract is the appointment to me is an interim base. Exactly. Because giving it just a 12-month, let's study you for 6 months and let's what we can do with it. And from what we have from the background and from the detail of the rumor posts and the source of source who are connected, who are very close to the discussions as what the person is going to sign, that it's just a temporary assignment, a temporary agreement that if within the 6 months and within the 1 year, nothing seems within the 6 months, if nothing is seen to be done, and there's no any appreciable performance to be seen, both parties can just walk away. And there's nobody will be hold to ransom or do that, just like in the case of the what we are facing at the moment. So if you think so, I like it. To me, in particular, I like this kind of clause inserted in that contract, and let it not feel that we have gotten the job. But it's now know that my job depends on my performance, and if I don't perform well within the first 6 months, I'll be sacked, and no sanction will be held. No sanction will you will not be held for responsible for anything. Inserting that contract, that part of agreement into the contract, I think it's a good one. And the best thing now within this 6 months, I think for him, if he's serious, it's an easy task for him. Because the thing we are going to face within this first month are not serious thing that you can see that even in UFI, I believe that even that job you do it perfectly well.
No, I mean, like you rightly said, when this announcement was made last night on social media, a lot of Nigerians were like, well, Mauritius and Sao Tome and Principe, as long as they are concerned, almost the same team, small teams. Any of them, we are good with them. And we away from that now too. And the WAFU B U-20 tournament currently going on in Niamey, capital of Nigeria. Flying Eagles of Nigeria, that's the under-20, will be up against Cote d'Ivoire tonight in the second semi-final of that competition. Recall that the Flying Eagles rather had earlier defeated Ghana and Burkina Faso to qualify for the draw with Burkina Faso rather to qualify for this stage. But now a win against Cote d'Ivoire will put the Flying Eagles right into the final. Salifu, this match comes up tonight at 8 p.m. So far, so good. Some have said, well, Ladamboso has been doing well. But for me, I said it's just 2 matches so far. Is it right to judge and say he's been doing well? Like we said earlier, remember what happened to us in the Nations Cup when we played 3 games and
100% record.
Exactly, and everybody was saying, no, the Super Eagles must come home with the cup. But only getting to the second round and everything felt like a pack of cards.
Those that start slowly at the end of the day when they find
Exactly. Yes.
Egypt play final, while we couldn't even get to the quarter final.
Yeah.
So just like say, to me, I agree with you completely. Ladambosa and have not achieved anything.
Yeah.
They have not done anything as far as the side, and they went for the Miami with a target, and to me, they have not achieved anything. They have not even achieved anything to that category. First, if they went to this match, they will achieve the number 1 target. First and foremost, is to qualify for the African Youth Championship. If they crash out at this stage, they will not qualify for the African Youth Championship. And if you go there and you didn't qualify for the African Youth Championship, you won't coming up the time there in Egypt. So to me, you're going to Niamey for the WAFU conference. It's just exercising. It's not there was no any game attached to it. So I think Ladambo should know it is quite. It's aware this one quite well, and that if he don't get the result against Cote d'Ivoire tonight, it has me that is every effort, everything put in it, is just a waste.
Absolutely. And let me say, since this tournament began, I really haven't had time to sit down and watch the team properly to really get a proper assessment of the team. But so far, I don't know if you'll be able to catch a glimpse of any of their games.
Yeah, well, I've not really watched a full match, but from the highlight I've watched, it shows that there's a promises in the boys, and I also comment Ladambo that we're able to select very young and very youthful side of the teams. So if you look at the boys, they are very young and they not much as well. They are always pushing when it comes to these competitions. But if you're looking at the boys, based on that, what we have seen, they're very relatively young boys. And to me, in the essence of the youth competition, it's not just about that shape, it's about the developmental competitions, and the only thing that is to be able to pick a ball that will stand in place of time for a very long time and end up to play a very long time. And if you look at, to me, looking at that ball that's certainly very young team, to me, I give it that kudos for selecting a very young team, not mind that you was determined to get a top one pick or that age player. Being a player within the age limit, first and foremost, is a credit to him. I commend it for that. And at the same time, just like I said earlier, whatever he does, he will be just an exercise in futility if he doesn't get to the final of the competition and ultimately get the ticket in African Union. Because remember, it's a stage process. When you qualify from Africa, you get to the African Champions. It's the African Youth Champions that also get the territory to the World Cup. So if you mess up the whole thing here, you have to lose it. It's very important. In the next, most and those boys, whatever he's trying to do for those boys and himself, if he didn't qualify, if he didn't get the result tonight against Cote d'Ivoire, everything has become a waste. But in the next 2 years or 4 years, those boys have those set of boys are already gone. So he must ensure that they get to the final of the competition, so that the boy can have international progress. To get to the Israel and also have the mind of play at the World Cup.
All right, away from that now to former international, that's Harry in Bosu, talking about the appointment of Pesero, and he said Pesero must restore Super Eagles' glory days. He made this known when during an interview. He urged the Portuguese tactician to also focus on players plying their trade in the Nigerian Professional Football League. He said it's a good one that the NFF has appointed a coach that will manage the affairs of the Super Eagles. Pesero must understand to do everything to restore the glory days of the team if he must endear himself to the football fans of Nigeria. The challenge starts now, and I want to wish him all the best. I mean, one thing I took away, especially from that advice, is he should look into the NPFL. We all remember in the time of Kenatron, we've said that here over and over again, where, I mean, it became like almost impossible for home-based players to even have a chance. It's impossible. The Super Eagles became like a team. Once you don't play abroad, just forget it. And even the abroad players, we had so many players who were, how should I put it, foreign-born Nigerian players who don't even know anything about the country.
Connect them with Nigeria. The only thing that connect them with Nigeria is just picking up the white, come here, play the match, and then go back. So they don't even know about the conditions of Nigeria.
Yeah, because those were players who were eligible to play in their countries of their birth. But because
most of those players are being called, they don't even know what is a Ibusi. They don't even know what is a back. So if you a player who don't even have a culture of Nigeria, they don't even know the food, the kind of thing we eat. They came here, we find it difficult for them to interact.
And it was because they didn't have a chance to play in those countries. That's why they saw Nigeria as the last resort. But here, this advice is to person is take a look at the NPFL and ensure that you include players from that league. And I think it's very important.
I don't envy Pesero at the moment. It's taking Nigeria, it's taking the job, Nigerian Super Eagles job at a very, very, very wrong time. And
wrong time? Why do you say wrong time?
Okay. At a very wrong time that the job is quite demanding. Because I'm sure since his name has been mentioned, he reading a lot about Nigerian media, so a lot of that abuse about Nigerian stuff. So I think he know how crazy, I mean, sorry to use that word, how crazy Nigerian football fans are. If you don't give them the result, I think if you don't give them the result, play one match, you don't give them the result, you're in trouble. You should also know that you shouldn't even start the friendly match coming out against the Mexicans and the Ecuador. It's a litmus test for him. And he shouldn't feel just a friendly match. If he don't, these two games will be used to assess him. If he fail in these two games, I think Nigerians will not be patient, the kind of patience they have with the rock. If you don't have a desirable result or make any appreciable impact in those two matches, Nigerians will call for his head immediately. So that's why I say I don't envy him taking this Nigerian job at a very long time when Nigeria's the job is quite demanding. And I'm sure that he know quite well. But one of the things I heard about him that I was impressed that he accepted, and why the Nigerian Football Federation insisted that they prefer him to other coaches, that he accepted to reside in Nigeria, and also he accepted to watch 50% of Nigerian league matches. That is, if Nigeria is playing, if you have 100 league matches, out of 100 league matches, you make sure he watched 50 of it. So to me, I quite agree. If that was the yardstick, the sushi, good one. But what the football sometimes one of the only low ends of his career that he has not lifted a trophy in his career, but he has an experience. He has moved around, and the same time he has a little experience about African football. He was Alali coach. So if he agreed to come to stay in Nigeria and live with us, and move from match venue to match venue to watch our league and watch the local player, to me that is a good one. And at the same time, believe that football, the crowd, if you just watch around the world, anything that make a principal impact, the 50% or even 40 or 60% of that team are play within the local league.
Yeah.
And if we don't have a player within the local league, most of these are players who are foreign-based players. They have their 100%, let's say 100% commitment to their club side. They only game, and if they come to play, they're only mindful of their leg. But if you have a local league player based in Nigeria, and like for instance, the match against Ghana, if we have about 4 or 5 local players in that team, those players will be ready to break their leg to make sure that there's a desire in the local player to showcase themselves. But those who already have a club, who already have a place to earn money, don't even care. So they always try to play again because of not having injuries.
Just hold your thought right here. Quickly, we'll go on a short break and then we'll come back. Sport Hobby continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that short break. Now on to some volleyball, where the Vice President of the Federation of International Volleyball, FIVB, said that they were in Nigeria to assess the Nigerian Volleyball Federation and help them to develop the sport in the country. Mohammed disclosed this to journalists on arrival at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport yesterday. According to him, Nigeria is one of the countries in Africa where there's a need for the development of the game from the grassroots to the senior level. Mohammed, who is also president of the International Volleyball Federation Development Commission, said it will raise the standard of the sport. In his word, there is need to help the development of the sport and to enhance the participation of Nigeria in World Championships and Olympics. So, Vice President FIVB in the country, well, he said he has come to pay a visit to our federation here to see how they can partner, especially in areas of developing volleyball in the country.
Mohamed Budasi, Vice President and then President of FIVB Development Commission. I think that is a good one. Coming to if you look at the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, if you look at the sport generally in Nigeria, the only sport, one of the sports in Nigeria has made a leap in the recent time is volleyball. There's an appreciable effort being made and they're able to develop the game. Kudos to the president of the Volleyball Federation and Musa Nimron, who has done perfectly
very well.
To create a lot of awareness. Now, many Nigerians are quite aware that there's a game called volleyball in this country, and they have done quite a lot. And that is his effort and what he's doing within the country that's attracting the world volleyball to come and see what they're doing, and that is one way of how to contribute. And I won't hear that yes, the world volleyball has also donated a match. A volleyball match to the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, and that is a very good one, a commended one, because they always play on the bare floor. Now, with that match, that will give the players a whole lot of expression, and these are the kind of match you use when you play to international competitions to play at the world youth level. So when you have it here, within here, it is part of using those facilities that when you get there, you need to play them. So I commend the the world body to coming down here to assist Nigerians and then to help develop our game. And all the Nigerian volleyball federations, the Musakira and his board member to make best use of these opportunities that they have at the moment.
Right, away from volleyball now to some football news coming in from England. That's talking about Watford, where Watford recall that Oganekaro or Etebo is also in their books, courtesy of being signed from Stoke City actually on loan, but Watford had the option of actually giving him a permanent deal, but due to injury worries and the fact that he hasn't really tasted enough of action for Watford, I think they are actually considering not making his deal permanent. Well, if you could say a big blow to the young man, but on the other hand, it would have been painful if Watford had
remained in the league.
But now that they've been relegated, I mean, and Stoke City, they are going to meet Stoke City where they are. So for me, it doesn't really make any difference.
It doesn't really make any difference. So to me, it's a good one. I don't even expect that. I don't even think if they're willing to sign Oganetebo, I don't even think I will accepted to take that offer.
Yeah.
Going that we are going down. So let's say Oganetebo is one of the finest midfielder we have, but unfortunately, issue has not been on
exactly.
Not been helpful to him. But we hope that he'll be able to recover fully and then get a better club and probably. It's to play even the Stoke City within the Champions League. It's not a bad
at all.
You can still remain in the championship and play your normal game.
Definitely.
And at the same time, it doesn't deprive or deny your faculty. All you need to do, play for injury free, remain there, and by the time you begin to showcase yourself, definitely better will still come from you.
Exactly.
We still have players who play in the second division, even in the third division, still be integral part of the national team.
Of course, very well said. Still on some football, like we said earlier, some witnessed some EPL games that went down yesterday. Of course, Arsenal were in action last night against Newcastle, and also Leicester City were also in action, also took on Burnley in that one. But for Newcastle Arsenal, it was a heartbreaking one. Recall that after that defeat to Tottenham, a lot of Arsenal fans felt wet. We still have a chance of making it to the Champions League. We have 2 more games to go if we are able to win the 2. But yesterday, it was not to be, as an own goal from Ben White and a goal from Guimaraes in the 85th minute actually has put that dream in hanging in the balance. Salifu going into the last game of the season. Do you think?
No, the way it is now, the way it is now is completely off Arsenal. It's completely off their hand. And I don't see Tottenham losing their last match against Norwich. So definitely Arsenal can just be settled down and plan for the Europa League this season. It's an improvement. Last season they didn't qualify for the Europa League. They didn't even make the Conference League, as we call it. Now they have a opportunity to play in the Europa League. It's a gradual process. But Arsenal, what they have done yesterday is just to confirm what they normally know how to do. Arsenal.
No, but at the time, hopes were raised. At the point, Arsenal fans were like, in fact, we are even finishing. We're going to finish above Chelsea.
Arsenal. When Arsenal was when they beat Man U, beat Chelsea, beat the runner-up club they beat again.
Trying to remember.
West Ham. Yeah. When they beat all those teams. So and in Arsenal, one of our Arsenal fans, our former staff here, they say he's a very die fan of Arsenal. They say, I hope Arsenal will not collect this point from the big boys.
Exactly.
That's the small boys.
And they always have that problem.
Just like he said, he has confirmed Arsenal. They collect those points from the Chelsea, from the Mali, from the big boys, and then carry the point and go and dash the minors. When they lost to Tottenham, I think that was the biggest mistake of the
I think that's
the moment they lose that match. I know Arsenal is already under pressure. Arsenal is a team that cannot play, that cannot handle pressure, especially under this Arteta. Arsenal can't handle pressure. If you put Arsenal under pressure, they're in trouble. And most of the EPL coaches and the teams also study Arsenal. When you keep them under pressure, you don't allow them to play that. They mark them mark to mark. They will not play. They will lose their. They will not even play anything. And that's exactly what's happening yesterday. Newcastle was a better side against us nicely. And completely it's obvious. Even like
because going into the last games, even if Spurs draw on goal and Arsenal wins on goal difference, Spurs will still.
No, if they draw and Arsenal win on goal, yes, you are right.
Exactly.
Because Spurs have almost plus 24.
Exactly, because if they draw, they will all be at 69 points. But Spurs has, the goal difference is just too much.
The goal difference is
too much. So even if Spurs, in fact, all Spurs need to do is avoid defeat.
Avoid defeat.
That's all. They don't even have to win. Just avoid defeat.
You're absolutely correct. Just avoid defeat, and they're as good as good. But the good thing is that for Arsenal is that no matter how much you play the last game, Man can never close the game.
The end of the day is Arsenal and United are most likely going to
they are the Europa League.
Are going to hog themselves once again in the Europa League. As they've been doing for a long time.
The good thing is that after the preliminary round of the Champions League, the Chelsea and the Tottenham joined them in the Europa League. So there's no big. The Chelsea fans will not celebrate too much, and the Tottenham fans will not celebrate too much. Because after the group stage of the Champions League, the only team maybe probably Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City will maintain their status, but Chelsea and the Tottenham will drop down to join the Europa League.
Well, we'll see about that now. Of course, also an EPL game will be going down tonight, and it's Liverpool traveling away to St. Mary's to take on Southampton. The game comes up at 7:45.
Another very big match.
Yeah, very big match to look out for. And
Man City, as much as they don't care whatever Liverpool play, will also be interested in what happened at that game.
No, definitely, because
the good is that Guardiola can choose to go and sleep, not even watch the match, because all he needs to do just play his last match and win a game.
No, but even before they played West Ham, everybody, even Klopp himself, on the pre-match before, when he was analyzing looking 12 man, he said he was very sure that Man City were going to. He said no disrespect to West Ham, but he was sure that Man City were going to defeat West Ham with at least four goals by to nothing. But you see, sometimes
it's like that trigger where the movies
exactly insult. You see, sometimes football cannot like that. Maybe who knows what might happen on the last day of the matches. So for me, I think this title will go down to the wire.
I remember there was a season they were also when Chelsea and Liverpool also contended for a title, and in the final match. When Gerrard sleep, and that was how Chelsea became the champion.
Yeah, because it's still Man City's first Premier League title. Don't forget that they won it on goal difference
against Man U.
So
during the
Mancini,
Italian
it was goal difference.
Yes, and Man City was playing their last match against KPR.
Yes, while United was against Crystal Palace.
But unfortunately, with the KPR, Man City find it difficult to beat the KPR because on the last minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Goal difference, they were able to
exactly.
And then which up to today, Alex Ferguson has not forgotten that. Because Alex Ferguson believes that maybe some certain players.
In fact, that's what made him not retire, because he wanted to retire after that season, but he had to stay on for another season to ensure that they win one more title before he goes. Well, so for the EPL, it's always full of surprises, but Southampton, Liverpool, will look forward to that one. I'm sure Liverpool will be hoping to go all out.
Still, Liverpool going to this match without Salah, and I think even this man, their captain is also down for this match.
Yeah, but Liverpool being who they are, even we know also even during Nations Cup when they had two important players, Salah and Mane,
exactly, even include Keita.
Exactly, so I'm sure Liverpool still having the hangover of the FA Cup victory, will be hoping to go all out against Southampton in this one. Well, we'll keep an eye on this one. Tomorrow we'll give you a complete review of this match and, of course, other sporting events as they pan out this evening. Well, that's all we have for you on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Salifu, once again, thanks for being in the studio with me today.
Thank you.
All right, until we come your way tomorrow again, my name is Afa Acho. Stay safe out there, and it's goodbye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.